Come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He finds Robinson. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing we do to get his catches, so as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Here I come! Here I come! Here I come! Here I come! Check, check. Fresno! Fresno! 61. Match box! Match ready!
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. He'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Tackle made there by Bilal Nichols.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's 2nd and 8. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Hey, C6.
Off the play fake. Herbert. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
At the 28-yard line.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
58, boy, 58, Mike. Let's go, team. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day.
2nd and 3. Open target here, Darius Slayton. He's got daylight. Touchdown, Giants. Darius Slayton, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen, and he powers his way up past the 30.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Check nickel. Hard. He's crashing.
They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. These two teams all tied after 1. So deep trouble here, backed up to their own 1-yard line for 2nd and long.
Hey, Wahoo! Hey, Zoo! 45, Mike, 45. Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time. Let's get off the field. Look.
To throw from his end zone. Herbert looking for Shepard deep. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way up to the 41-yard line. A big play there for the Giants. 41 yards. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10.
You go take. You got take. Rock it. Ready.
Now Saquon Barkley. 2 yards that time. A stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Topper! Watch the shot!
To throw on 2nd down. Herbert. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
Here we go. Set. 70. Indy. Quit talking about it and bring it. Deuce. 61. Matchbox lights. Slam.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
Leo!
They'll try to run for it with Barkley, and he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Jumping. Pilot, 64,
They'll run with Barkley. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Big series right here. We got to step it up. Bang! Protein spill. Look at me. Go.
2nd and 6. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, that takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
The Giants on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. From the gun, Herbert. It's complete to Fuller. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
And they've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving.
Look at me, zipper!
Operating from the gun, Herbert. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating, there he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 1st half. All knotted up at 7. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
2nd and 5. And Ingram's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Evan Ingram, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Giants have taken the lead.
Well, the lost sleep that the defensive coordinator had all week preparing for this game, a good portion of it was trying to prepare for him because he's absolutely a phenomenal player.
And a lot of times around the goal line, they know it's going to him. It's just so hard to stop.
And that's where it really becomes difficult because you're exactly right. They know it's going to him, yet they still can't stop it. That tells you when you're a dominant player.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Back to throw here. And an alley to run. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. And the Giants will go with 6 defensive backs here on 3rd.
Get him, get him, get him. Mike 50, Mike 50. Check right, check right. Mike set up, 50. Root right.
They're going to look to throw. Open man, there is Patterson, complete. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. First down, a run with Cohen. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
On first down, they go right back to Cohen. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Back, Betty Whip.
Now Cohen. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Now keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
Now back to throw. And that's caught for a Bear touchdown. It's the tight end, Trey Burton. Trey Burton in the final seconds of the first half, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point splits the uprights, and we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Time here for likely one play, and then these two teams will head to the locker room all even.
And you know the play caller's just feeling it right now. Let's go ahead and go for this one. A big shot down. No. Guarantee the head coach is like, don't get crazy. Take the knee. Let's get out of here. Tie game. We'll just start all over.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, and ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And with a 3rd and 14, we have 6 defensive backs out there now defensively. They'll set up a throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And he gets it away, and it's a laser, headed for the sidelines. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. and they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do in the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Check, check. Lucky, lucky, lucky.
Saquon Barkley running right. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Ready, Moody base.
It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time. Check your hot read. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
Recon, 132 fighter.
Mike 58, right there. Gotta do better.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
At the 43-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Hey, check Mike. No. Mike gives it 15. Check Mike 15.
And the blitz does come. And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Chicago. Watch out for Hill on the return. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. Elsewhere, 2nd half is underway up in Orchard Park. And we're seeing an extension of the lead by the Jags. They're up pretty big. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Blowing that play up, Roquan Smith as he gets the sack.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Hey, Sam off. Hey, orbit. Switch snap.
Second and long. And this is Shepard on the catch. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Hey, you got 3 down. Watch 10, watch 10. Come on, watch 10, watch 10.
Bravo.
Watch the sled, watch the sled.
Hey,
Mike 45, check Mike 45. Let's go deep, tight.
big grip.
from the gun on third down. Herbert. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Bilal Nichols drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up fourth down. Here's Riley Dixon now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. This will be fielded at the 17. 12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
On second down now, it's Montgomery. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally brought down at the 43. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities. And we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There was absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
Now he'll look to throw here on second and 10. That's complete to Robinson. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's first and 10. Now they'll run it with Cohen. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. After the pickup of 5, here's second and 5.
No, okay. Shit.
On second down, Montgomery. And they'll get him down right about the 20. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively.
Go. Hey, check 24. 22, check, bomber. 22, check, bomber. Let it go.
They'll try to run for it with Cohen. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run for it with Montgomery. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. They try again with Montgomery. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
On 3rd down, a run with Cohen. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Loss of 2 yards. It's now 4th and goal.
Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And they're looking at 4th down now in this tie ball game. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they managed the clock exactly right.
Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points, said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
You're out.
Switch.
Like, go.
They begin with a run by Barkley. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
6-6, pull it high.
Back to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
There you go.
He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the 1st down. That's what's vital to them.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
On the set.
Mike, 45. Watch the curve. Check 4. Check 45 to Mike. Check 45.
They'll look to throw. Got a man, Slayton. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 29-yard line.
All right, let's just put it on the table real quick here. This is 2-minute drill. You got to know they're looking for their number one receiver.
Yeah, you think they'd be ready for that? That time they weren't. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Finds his tight end Ingram. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. They may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Set. 10 logo.
Off play action. Herbert. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 14.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining.
Gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 19-yard line.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
Again, it's Cohen. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Bears, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And now they'll get the short week as they get set to play at Detroit on Thanksgiving. Meanwhile, for the Giants, the run to begin the season is over as they drop to 9-1 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.